Season 4 is here, and in this video I'm going to show you the fastest way to earn XP, and I'm going to break it down into the 3 main stage categories: revisit, compete, and explore. Let's go! Alright, so just like my money guide, I'm going to try and get through this as fast as possible. Videos that waste people's time really irritate me just as much as they irritate you. So, starting with the various places that you can increase your XP gains, aka your XP bonuses. First and foremost, you need to make sure that you have your legend points maxed out in the legend category. Every method in this video utilizes that. It gets you an extra 20% XP with basically everything you do. Now that that's out of the way, let's take a look at the revisit timeline. To gain XP for this timeline, you need to replay playlist races and compete the newly added main stage challenges. You can see those by going to the main stage and tabbing over to challenges. Completing those should get you almost 200,000 XP, if not more, for that specific timeline, which is a really nice head start. The fastest way to gain the most XP outside of that is with the event called Riding in My Buick. You can complete this in about 3 minutes using an Alpha GP car and using the path that I'm going to show you later in this video. It rewards you with 18,000 base XP, and you can get bonus XP for a few different things. If you use a main stage car, you'll get an extra 30% XP. With your legend points and part affixes, you can actually get an extra 73%, 20% for the legend points, 53% for having your parts set up correctly. On your parts, you're going to want a full set of XP magnet set bonuses with the affix called Legend fully maxed out. If you're new to the game, the affix are the 2 perks that are in the center, and the set bonus is to the right. Parts are defined by the set bonus because you can't change that, so look for the set bonus first, then recalibrate the affix to get the type you want and the max percentage. Obviously, the more rare the parts are, the better, the more percentage you're going to get, and the legendary parts are the only ones that you can get a set bonus with, which makes your XP gains obviously a lot better. Anyways, XP magnet and legend, that's what you're after. And finally, you can receive a bonus for your difficulty settings. Let's take a quick look at those. Go to the options, then go to difficulty. Each event type is affected by this difficulty bonus differently. For example, some of these settings will give you more percentage for the playlist races, but not for the feats. Some events like Riding in My Buick don't have a difficulty setting, so you're automatically getting gypped out of a decent percentage, but it still rewards the best anyways, so it's not really the worst thing in the world. In general, you can play with these settings to balance your XP gains with your driving experience. For me, the balance comes out to about 17% bonus on my playlist races. Alright, back to the numbers. Riding in My Buick rewards you 39,600 XP with all of those bonuses active. However, this week's main stage car type is Street 2, and Street 2 cars are a lot slower than Alpha GP. So much so that the extra 30% that you would get is just not enough to make up for the time that you're going to lose by driving such a slow car. So my advice is to stick with an AGP car. You can run this event about 20 times per hour if you're hustling, which would get you about 792,000 XP for each hour that you're doing this. The next closest event using a similar strategy to this is Hummer Express with 704,000 per hour. And then after that, you've got Kiss Me Combi at 642,600 per hour. If you prefer those events, that's fine. Just know that they aren't technically the fastest way. But sometimes you gotta balance speed with what you're enjoying. As far as the route goes, I've got a timestamp in the description for the full route for this race, which I'll play at the end of the video. Let's move on to the compete timeline. Again, start with completing the main stage challenges listed in that orange compete section. But then, as of Season 4, there's really only one way to get XP for this timeline, unless you like sitting in demo derby lobbies waiting for the event to start, and that's Grand Races. Summit events also count, but because of the unpredictability of the Summit events' lengths, I can't really recommend that as a viable farming option, although in some weeks there might be a very short event that could reward a decent amount of XP, and you may want to do that instead of Grand Racing. But for the most part, Grand Racing is going to be the way. Just know that if you haven't completed your Summit yet, I highly recommend doing that first because all of the events will reward you some compete XP. As far as Grand Races go though, best case scenario, you get first in every single race and you can earn around 444,000 XP per hour. That's getting first in 7 races using at least one main stage car in each of those races, which happens to be out of your control by the way. and having your difficulty setting at least at 14% and making sure that you have your legend points maxed out at 20%. Now, we all know that isn't the most realistic situation, and from my experience, you're really looking at about 300,000 XP per hour, and that's with top 5 finishes every time. It is what it is, and if you're not into grinding out grand races, then make sure you do the challenges and the summit first to limit the amount of grand racing that you're going to need to do. Alright, let's move on to the Explorer timeline. Once again, start by completing your challenges. That will get you more than halfway done with the timeline. After that, feats are your friends. Oh, quick note on the challenges. Make sure that you're using the correct vehicle. It's going to give you a vehicle category just under the challenge itself. Anyways, escape and slalom feats reward you around 2400 base XP, plus 20% bonus for legend points, 53% bonus for your set bonus on your parts and your affix, and then 30% bonus for using a main stage car, which you absolutely should be doing no matter what the main stage car is. Use that for all the feats. It's absolutely worth it in this case. And then for me and my settings, I've got a difficulty bonus of around 18%, which all comes out to 5304 XP for each feat that I do. Now here's a quick pro tip for you. In your difficulty settings, make sure you turn off Nitro. It gives you an extra 6% XP, but your Nitro is still usable in free roam, so it's literally just free XP. You'll still be able to use your Nitro, and you're getting the bonus for having it turned off. Now, there are 67 escape or slalom feats combined, so completing them would get you more than enough XP to finish up the timeline, and it takes about 35 to 40 minutes to do all of those feats. However, you can boost your XP gains by picking up a treasure box after every 5 feats or so. Treasure box spawns are on a timer, so you should be able to do 5 feats in between each box. Now, there is a map of all the possible treasure spawn locations in my Discord. It's pinned in the crew channel if you need it. There's a link on my website, militiagamingco.com, and it's in the description of this video. But for treasure boxes though, you actually get more XP the more rare the box. Gold boxes will get you over 50,000 XP, purple boxes are around 27,000, blue boxes around 20, and green boxes are around 13. Obviously, you're looking for the gold ones, but if you spot a purple one, just go straight to that, don't waste any time and open it and get on with the feats. And that's basically it. So as promised, here's the full path for that Riding in My Buick event with the proper shortcuts. If you have any questions about anything, please send me a DM or jump into my Discord and give me a ping. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Trigger out.